Welcome to another edition of Walton Entertainment. Today we'll have more news, information, and entertainment from your local hometown.
Okay. The Peach Mountain Gang, the way we got together, it's really, I think, a story of bluegrass community. We never planned to be in a band. I never planned to sing or play more than one instrument. And Andrea, my daughter-in-law, and I started playing together, and she could sing, and we sang a little bit together, and we were playing on the square. And another band heard us ask us to sing along with them, to play with them at a gig. It was at a retirement home. And we had a lot of fun. Next thing we knew, that band was asking us to play a set at a benefit for a museum. And we didn't have enough people to play a set, but I had been to the SEBA, the Southeastern Bluegrass Association meeting, and met Libby, and invited her to a jam class that Andrew and I were attending. And at that same jam class, we met Jeffrey. So we quickly called Jeffrey and Libby and said, "Hey, would y'all like to play with us at this gig? No pressure." And they said yes, and I don't think they knew what they were getting into, but as a result, the Peach Mountain Gang was born, and we've had a lot of fun.
She's from the hills of Kentucky with long black wavy hair and lips as sweet as warm red wine. No others can compare. I'm going honky-tonkin', everything's turned upside down. But when I find that gal of mine, we're really gonna paint this town. They say we can't get married. They say I'm not worthy of you. But they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what we've gone through. I'm going honky-tonkin', everything's turned upside down. But when I find that gal of mine, we're really gonna paint this town. Now when you see me coming, better raise your window high. And when you see me leaving, Lord, hang down your head and cry. I'm going honky-tonkin', everything's turned upside down. But when I find that gal of mine, we're really gonna paint this town. But when I find that gal of mine, we're really gonna paint this town.
Bluegrass gives me a sense of joy and purpose, even on my darkest days. It gives me happiness in my heart. You get a sense of community, and you get your bluegrass family, and I love performing and playing out. I never knew I would like it this much, but it makes you feel good.
There's a rabbit in a log and ain't got my dog, and how will I give him my note? I'll give me a briar and I'll twist in his hair, and that way I'll give him my note. I know, yes I know. Me too. That way I'll give him my note. I'll give me a briar and I'll twist in his hair. Ouch! That way I'll give him my note.
can't listen to the banjo and not smile. At least I can't. You know, you hear it on the Beverly Hillbillies. You hear Steve Martin before he went full-time playing. He'd play with it when he was doing his bits. And wow, that's just a wonderful sounding instrument. But my stepfather bought me one, bless his heart. He got it from a pawn shop, I believe. And I tried to play it off and on for about 18 years. And what I didn't know then is that the neck was warped. And what that means is once you start fretting up past the third fret or so, it won't be in tune because there's no way the string's not in the right proportion. But I'd learned some rolls and stuff, and I would try to put away for a couple of years. But on my birthday in 2011, I went to banjo.com when it's still here in Atlanta and tried something out. And lo and behold, those little rolls that I was doing actually sounded good. So I bought one right there on the spot, and I don't know that I've gone a day without playing it since. Really, I take it
Well, I've been playing at the guitar since I was a kid, but would put it down, pick it up. Never really had other people. Didn't seek out other people to play with, and it wasn't. But I'd always it had always been a dream to be able to play bluegrass guitar in a band since I was in high school, really. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago that when I met these guys, I decided to spend time, and it's just been great. The bluegrass community, camaraderie, the family we've been talking about. It's just like I said, for string therapy. It's good for podology. It's a lot of fun, and it's just changed my life in a lot of ways, and really just so grateful to be playing with these guys and all the people that we jam with is wonderful.
whistle blowing, blowing lonesome in my mind. It's carrying me along that never-ending meadow line. Steel rails chasing Sunshine Mountain, winding through the trees like a ribbon in the wind. I don't mind not knowing what lies down the track, 'cause I'm looking out ahead to keep my mind from turning back. Sun is shining through the open boxcar door, lying in my mind with the things I've known before. I've lost count of the hours, days, and time. Rhythm of the rails keeps motion in my mind. Steel rails chasing Sunshine Mountain Bend, winding through the trees like a ribbon in the wind. I don't mind not knowing what lies down the track, 'cause I'm looking out ahead to keep my mind from turning back. 'Cause I'm looking out ahead, keep my mind from turning back. Yay! Good job.
Are you in need of tractor work, bush hogging, grading, cleaning, sod installs, and drainage repair? Then you need Bold Springs Landscape Solutions. Bold Springs Landscape Solutions is a licensed, insured, and certified landscape solutions company. Their services include grading and drainage, bush hogging and clearing work, as well as fencing, landscape, and sod installation. Contact Bold Springs Landscape Solutions today. Welcome to another edition of Through the Camera. This week it's special. We're going to the Okefenokee Swamp. So grab your family, grab a camera, and let's go grab some memories. Okay, so the night's over. We've left the luxurious Super 8 motel accommodations, and we're out here at the Okefenokee checking into the cabin. It's going to be a week-long fun tour of what we can find out in this natural forest. Amazing stuff, we hope. Just watch and see what we can come across here at the Okefenokee. Out on the wilderness trail right now at the Okefenokee, as we walk, we can all see that this is where people come out to look at wild nature. Nature is wild, and that's what we're amongst today. Hopefully we can find something out of the ordinary.
sitting in the middle of the Okefenokee, and I have us parked on a peat battery. And do you guys know what Okefenokee means? Okay.
I've been wondering that.
All right. So the bottom of the swamp floor is covered with what we call peat, and it's just a collection of decaying vegetation that settles down to the bottom. It's being broken down by microbes and bacteria, and methane gas is released in the process. So over time, you get enough pressure from all that methane that it forces the peat to break loose from the bottom, and it forces it to pop up to the surface. So that's what happened over here. And it's created a platform for grasses and other vegetation to colonize on it and take root. Once it's completely covered with grasses like this one is, we call it a peat battery, because in the Civil War, soldiers could hydrate their ammunition deep down in that tall grass. They could float the whole thing down river and move it from location to location. And when the Indians were here, they figured out they could walk across these thick floating mats of peat. And when they did that, it would move underneath their feet. They called it Okefenokee, or Land of the Trembling Earth. So y'all see it moving?
It looks pretty strong though.
Uh-huh. So yeah, you can walk across that. Asked a friend in school what she wanted to be, and she said park ranger. I kind of went like, ooh, really? Why? I wanted to be a vet growing up, and I took freshman chemistry in college and realized no vet school was ever going to admit me into their program. So I looked at the list of majors Georgia had to offer, and all the way at the bottom down there next to women's studies was wildlife. That's what I want to study. That's what I want to do.
Wow, it's been a fantastic day today. Let's take a look back through the photo album. Thanks for coming along this week as we visited the Okefenokee Swamp. Special thanks to the Georgia Department of Natural Resources for all their help in making this segment this week. Thanks, guys. I'm reminding you as your photographer, Darrell Everidge, this week, grab the family, grab a camera, and go out there and grab some memories. Creative Artists can offer you a wide range of video production. Call the experts and discuss your project today, whether it's your special event or your company. Creative Artist, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist produces this program you're watching. Call Creative Artist today, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist, they'll put you in the spotlight. You're watching Walton Entertainment.
Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, the Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And today, my lovely guest is Lauren Gregory with a Child's Voice Advocacy Center. And this month is National Child Abuse Prevention Month and Awareness Month. And we've been doing several things around the county. You may have seen some things, and I'm going to let Lauren tell you a little bit about those things a little later. But first, we're going to ask about the center where you work. Tell us a little bit about the center.
Well, first, thanks so much for having me today,
Yeah.
Dina. The place I work is called a Child's Voice Child Advocacy Center. So the Child Advocacy Center model is a national model. So there's child advocacy centers all over the country and some even in different countries. But the whole idea behind the Child Advocacy Center is that it's one place that a child can go to talk about what's happened to them when they've experienced abuse. So instead of a child having to talk to their teacher and the counselor and the police officer and the child protection worker and all these other different people, they can come to one place and tell their story one time in a really safe way. And then we work to make sure that anything they need, we work together to do. So we work through what's called a multidisciplinary team approach. So we work closely with law enforcement, DFACS, the district attorney's office, the school system, mental health counselors to make sure that whatever a kid needs after they've experienced something like severe abuse, we're able to connect those resources for them. We also do a lot of community education and outreach and prevention. So April is our favorite month because it's Child Abuse Prevention Month. So this month we've been trying to do just more awareness, educating people. People may have seen blue pinwheels around town, which that's the symbol of safe and healthy childhoods. So in April we put out pinwheels for awareness, and then we do other trainings and community events.
Okay. Well, what can parents do? I mean, if they suspect that something's going on, what are the steps that you all would recommend for a parent or a coach or a caregiver, or I could come up with several examples.
Yeah.
But what do you suggest to others?
So we say first that child abuse is an adult issue. So it's always the adult's responsibility, the parent or the caregiver or the coach or any adult who's in a child's life, that if they suspect something or they feel like something's been going on, or especially if a child tells them that something has happened, that they make a report. So to make a report, there's kind of two options, and either one is fine. You can report to law enforcement. So that would be, going to your local law enforcement or even calling 911 if you think a child's in severe danger. Or you can make a report to DFACS. And that sounds really scary to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
But what that means is just that you're asking for a professional to come in and check on the situation. So in our state, if you make a report and it ends up that it's not true, there's no ramifications for you. It's called a good faith report. So we recommend that any suspicion, anything that seems off, and if a kid says something that's concerning, that you just make that report. And what it means is that then DFACS or law enforcement or whoever will kind of evaluate the situation, and then if they deem that it meets their criteria, then they'll investigate it. It doesn't mean that a kid's going to get taken away. It doesn't mean that somebody's going to automatically get arrested. It just means that professionals will get involved to make sure the child's safe. So there's a couple different ways. In Georgia, it's called centralized intake, but there's a phone number that you call, and that's 1-855-GA-CHILD. So 1-855-GEORGIA-CHILD. And you call and you just give as much information as you can. And that just helps make sure that the kid is protected, because we don't ever really know for sure, especially that early on, but we want to make sure that people get involved to talk to the child and make sure that they are okay. And again, adults are protected when they make that. It doesn't mean that they'll get in trouble. It's also confidential, so when you make the report, you don't necessarily have to give your name. You can just give the information that you have, and then the people will take that information and go and investigate.
Okay. Well, what are the ages of the kids that would actually be interviewed at your center?
So we'll talk to kids about 3 is about the youngest, but up until 18, just because, under 3 it can be hard for a kid to really talk about something. So 3 to 18 we'll talk to, if they're older and have a developmental delay or a disability, we may talk to them as well. Older than 18, usually they'll talk to a law enforcement officer who's who kind of works these cases and who's used to these cases.
Right.
Our center also offers medical exams, and we can do medical exams on kids who are younger. So even if we can't do the actual interview, we can still do the medical exam to make sure their bodies are healthy.
Okay. Well, I know that you all were our guest at our collaborative meeting, and you talked about some different ways that organizations can receive training on how to report or what to look for. Tell us about this Darkness to Light program.
Okay, the Darkness to Light program is a really great evidence-based sexual abuse prevention training. So we really like it because the fact that it's evidence-based means that we know that it works, that it teaches adults really things that they can do to protect kids. So our center offers it free of charge to people in our community. So we serve Walton County and Newton County. I know people watching this are all Walton County. So in Walton County, any group of adults can get the training for free. It's a 2-hour training that has videos and discussions that's designed to teach adults how to recognize child abuse and then talks more about kind of how to report. And we talk a lot about recognizing that because a lot of times, especially child sexual abuse, it can be a kid doesn't often have a symptom. They don't often, you can't look at them and tell that they've been abused. So a lot of times those signs and symptoms are a little less clear. It may be things like, they were potty trained, but now they're having accidents, or they're not sleeping well, they're having nightmares, maybe their tummy hurts a lot, maybe they get headaches. Any kind of physical symptom like that doesn't have a direct cause could be a sign of abuse. It could also be a sign of something else. So what we encourage is if you notice things like that in a child, and the training talks about this more, is just to ask questions, hey, is everything okay? Hey, has something happened? We say don't go up to a child and say, hey, who touched you or who abused you? But just paying attention and asking, how are things going? Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to tell me? It's okay to talk to me. Things like that to make sure the child feels like they can talk about it. We know that I think it's less than 40% of kids will talk about the abuse they've experienced. And especially for boys, sometimes they won't tell for like 20 to 25 years. So it's a long time to keep a really big secret for a child. And those effects can be, it can turn into things like post-traumatic stress disorder or other mental health things that once it kind of comes out, the child can then get the treatment they need to heal.
Right.
So just adults, it's really important that adults ask those questions, pay attention. Don't be afraid to ask a kid what's going on.
Yeah. Well, and I know that for those trainings, we're here at the partnership, we're willing to facilitate a training and put a group together, but you do have to have a certain number of people.
Yeah, we like to have at least 10 because it is a discussion-based training, so if it's just a couple people, sometimes it's not as rich of a discussion. But we also, we do the trainings too, so we have some scheduled at our center right now later in the month. And then some at different locations that are open to the public. Okay. And we can kind of like y'all, if a couple people tell us they want the training, we can try to connect it with a couple other people to make a group work.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about what I know that you have had several drawings on live on Facebook. So tell us what you've been doing for Child Abuse Prevention Month.
So every April we do our big fundraiser, and it's the Give Child Abuse a Spring Break raffle event. So we get raffle prizes donated, and this year I think we had at least 20 prizes. No, more than 20. We drew a prize every business day in April. So we're still drawing prizes, and we're drawing 2 on Friday. So we sell raffle tickets. They're $10 a ticket, and then every day this year on Facebook Live, we're drawing the prize, so people can watch it live, or go back and watch it later. But there's still time to buy tickets. You can buy tickets through the very last day. And the very last day, I think, is Southwest Airlines tickets. Oh. So, still an exciting prize. Oh, yeah. But we're drawing prizes. We're having community partners, some of our board members or people we partner with come help to kind of show who we work with and also to hear their perspective about our center. And then giving away prizes.
Great.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, sounds like fun. Anything else coming up that you'd like to share that y'all have going on?
I think that's pretty much it. If any like mental health professionals end up watching this, we are doing a training series in play therapy right now with a local play therapist. But other than that, we're just kind of chugging along with prevention and education, and then helping make sure that kids in our county who need help are getting it.
Okay. Well, thank you for what you do, and I know your group always does a great job in the community protecting our children, so we do appreciate that. And thank you for coming this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And if you have any questions about how you can get involved, you can always call us here at the partnership. My direct line is 770-207-3175. Or if you have questions about resources you need in Walton County, please feel free to reach out to us. And as always, thank you for watching.
Walton County Parks and Recreation Department reminds you of fall sports registration at Meridian Park, Felker Park, and South Walton Park. This is going on May 4th through the 10th. Remember, they're closed on Sunday. For more information, contact Meridian Park at 770-266-1650, or Felker Park at 770-267-7525, or South Walton Park at 770-464-3374. And don't forget about the Fishing Derby. Meridian Park's Fishing Derby is Saturday, April 27th, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. It happens at Matthews Park in Monroe, Saturday, May 4th from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. And remember, there's no entry fee. It's free. So bring your family and enjoy some of Walton County's great parks.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson, and I'm here with the Recreation Report. It is really the beginning of spring, and we're about halfway through most of our spring activities, which is our athletic program, which is our baseball and softball program, which we're about halfway through the season. We'll end about the middle of May, and then our soccer season the same way, and we have our track and field. We've got a couple more meets with them, and so all our sports are doing real well. The weather's been working out pretty well. The rain is still coming in and out, but for the most part we're able to get most of our games in, so about halfway through with our spring season. But another thing that happens about this time of year is that we open up our ponds. As you know, DNR brings us about 1,000 little small catfish, and they're all about 6 to 8 inches long, and they bring them in December, and then we try to feed them enough to let them grow to a decent size. But this coming up April 27th at Meridian Park, we'll have our fishing derby, and then on May 4th we'll have our fishing derby at Matthews Park. And what that means, fishing derby, is we really want to encourage adults to come, but adults to bring kids. It's about bringing kids fishing and teaching them how, and working with them. So they do usually catch a good bit of fish, and then we have some other events as well. So the age groups that we have our competitions with are ages 4 and 5, 6 and 8, 9 and 10, and then 13 and up. And the two contests that we have is obviously the biggest fish in those categories, so the person that catches the biggest fish. And last year, I want to say they caught like a 10 or 12 pound catfish at Meridian Park. So there are some big fish out there, even though we do put a lot of small ones in. Apparently one got extra big, and they did catch over a 10 pounder last year at Meridian Park. Then we also have a casting contest. We'll put a bullseye out, and based off the age group or how far you have to cast the ball, the rods that we provide has a weight on it, and you get a few casts, and then you get points based on how close you are to the bullseye. So those two events, the casting contest and the biggest fish, will start at 6 a.m. Remember, the fish start biting early in the morning, so 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. So 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. April 27th at Meridian Park, and May 4th at Matthews Park. And then after that, we'll have the ponds open for general fishing for everyone. We have to close them each year because of DNR giving us those fish. Excuse me. I have a little cold going on like everyone else. The pollen is really high this time of year, so it's really got me a little congested. So if you're in the same boat I am, hopefully this the rain that's coming in soon will wash some of this out, and we can all get well. What's going on in the recreation world as well is we have a lot of people that are booking pavilions right now. And if you're planning on having a birthday party or a picnic or a family reunion, you need to go on our website at waltoncountyga.gov, or you need to call one of our community centers. If you go to our website, you can find the number to call, and get that reserved because they do go fast. We rent a lot of pavilions, and we have about between 12 and 14 depending on what you want to have and the number of people that you're going to have at your event, and you can find the site that'll work best for you. So go online and book your pavilion rentals. They're $30. They're not really expensive, and then you get to utilize the park as well. So get online and do that. Again, they're really booking up fast. We also want to always invite you to come to our community centers. There's not any pollen on the inside if you want to walk there. Also, we have our treadmills and ellipticals and all those things that keep you in shape, keep you healthy, and keep Walton active. Is really our mission to keep Walton moving. So I ask you to come down to the community centers and do that. The last thing I want to let you know is that we will be having our fall registration. It'll be coming up pretty soon. We've got summer basketball that our registration just ended, but there may be a few spots left for summer basketball if you're interested in that. It's played in the Monroe area, maybe a few games in the Loganville area, but we have close to 300 kids that have already signed up for summer basketball. And then we'll have our fall registration at the end of May, right before school lets out, for all the fall registrations, which is our biggest time of year because we have a lot of different sports going on, which is our football and cheerleading, baseball, softball, soccer, all those things going on at one time. So we end up with almost 2,000 kids that participate in the fall. So look for that coming out soon towards the end of May. It's a really busy time with graduations and the school ending parties and all that, but don't miss the registration. And it's a lot easier now that we have it online, so it's no reason to miss out on that. So just want to remind everyone, as always, sportsmanship starts at home. We'd love to have you volunteer here at the Recreation Department. We're always in need of coaches. So until next time, thank you very much.
In the heat of the night.
It's been more than 20 years since In the Heat of the Night has aired on national television. Since that time, the fans have stayed true to the reruns, and they still love those stars. Recently, a few of the stars from the television hit series showed up in Covington in the Heat of the Night reunion.
In the heat of the night.
Well, they used to shop in Bruno's. It was a grocery store we used to have here in Conyers, actually. Yeah. And the cast, I mean, they just acted like they were anybody else, and then ate everywhere and went to Blockbuster and went to the bars. And my dad had drinks with Bubba and them, and Parker and them were all in Blockbuster one night. And so yeah, they used to shop in late at night when nobody was there. So yeah.
Deflated. It's just totally deflated.
Yeah.
Come on, just like you're spoken like a good DA. To live here is like a home away from home for almost 7 years, 9 months out of the year. We live here. Get to know the people, get to know the region, and it's just like home.
2 years after the show ended here in '94, so it would be '96. I just fell in love with this area and all the people, and everybody was so kind and genuine. And I had looked while we were filming for a home here, and I just never found the right one with the right floor plan and what have you. And so after the show in '96, I purchased a lot and had a house built here. And then at one of the reunions, we were doing a video for Carol. And so all the cast members, we got to, say a little hello to Carol. And of course I broke down in tears and I told him about my house, and I said I call it the house that Carol built.
I'm Randall Franks. I was Officer Randy Good on TV's In the Heat of the Night. Covington, the 5 years that I spent here, it became another home to me. The people who lived in the city, the people that we interacted with in the businesses, they became extended family. So every time I get a chance to visit Covington, it's like coming home. I walked out on the street this morning and I thought, well, I felt at home. I was looking to see some of the old friends that we worked with so much. I thought, well, we must be shooting another episode just for a brief moment because it's so real even 20 years later.
Heat was very popular, just like Vampire Diaries is now, and what we were seeing in the Welcome Center is a lot of the fans that were coming in for the Vampire Diaries tours, when they had their parents or grandparents, they realized, oh, Heat was filmed here too. We saw the crossover with the market, so we started trying to cultivate and find the fan groups for In the Heat of the Night, and we've been working on this for about 2 years. We contacted Alan, and he was filming his movie, and he said, when I'm done, we'll come back. So that's kind of what got the ball rolling. So as soon as Alan called and said October 10th, we communicated with the rest of the cast, and they were anxious to come back. So we're hoping that this is the beginning of reinvigorating the love for that show that a lot of people still have, because it's good, it's wholesome, and a lot of people have a lot of fond memories of that. So between Vampire Diaries and Now We're Sparta, so the new slogan is, when the sun set on Sparta, the moon rose over Mystic Falls. So welcome to Hollywood of the South.
This whole thing, I didn't realize how emotional it would be. And I think we all are responding like that. You know, I've been just tearing up all morning. And I'm looking at that picture now with Carol O'Connor and Howard and Hugh, and you know, you can't get any better than that.
Hi, I'm Maureen Dowdell, and I played Tracy Boggs and Lydia Kinsey on the television series In the Heat of the Night. And Covington is my second home. I have to tell you, one of the greatest things about my experience here when I was shooting the show was meeting the people and being brought into the warmth of the community. It's close to my heart. My friends are here. I come back probably every year because I love Covington. And so I just want to thank all the fans and everybody who has kept the show alive through Sparta, Mississippi, Covington, Georgia.
It was an interesting ride coming down this morning from Atlanta. I came down here so many times to work on Heat of the Night, playing D.A. Darnell. Feels great to be back. Covington is beautiful as ever, and I did the show earlier in my acting career, and it probably brought me so many opportunities that set me on a path of where I am right now, which is fortunately a still working actor in Georgia and all over the Southeast.
Why do you think this show has lived so long after its original run?
Well, I think there's several things. I think it's something that the whole family can watch together, which is kind of an unusual thing nowadays with what's being produced. And so I think that kind of makes it a little bit special. And the storylines, we always tried to talk about meaningful things. We had some fun with it. You know, there was some humor in the show, but again, we tried to broach subjects that people could relate to.
Are you in need of tractor work, bush hogging, grading, cleaning, sod installs, and drainage repair? Then you need Bold Springs Landscape Solutions. Bold Springs Landscape Solutions is a licensed, insured, and certified landscape solutions company. Their services include grading and drainage, bush hogging and clearing work, as well as fencing, landscape, and sod installation. Contact Bold Springs Landscape Solutions today.
Right here. I got paralyzed May the 2nd of 93, so actually it's 22 years ago next month that I was hit by a drunk driver head on. I spent about 2 months in the hospital, basically fighting for my life from the surgeries and the car crash. 2 weeks before I had my car wreck, I told my dad I wanted to be different than anybody else under the sun. And he told me, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And here I am a month later fighting for my life. And after I came out of my coma, I started realizing what had actually happened. I was laying in bed, hospital bed one night, and I was crying, and my dad's like, what are you crying for? And I said, what happened? Why am I like this? He said, you asked for this. You don't remember this, but you asked to be different. And he said, you didn't ask to be paralyzed, but you asked to be different than anybody else. You got your wish. Now it's your turn to go forward with that. And from that day forward, it's been a heck of a ride. I never looked back. The reason why I started doing this was because Birch Big Adventure. With Birch Big Adventure, the kids with that, they either have chronic or terminal illnesses. And these kids they're fighting for their life. And the stuff that I've done, I've realized that it's grown attention, and people have actually been willing to donate money for charities. And that's why I said, well, why don't I do something silly enough to get that much more attention for the charity? So I've been doing this for about 3 years, and the whole Guinness thing was, I contacted Guinness and see if anyone had ever done it, and they said no. And I said, well, can I do it? And they responded with the word no. And like I said, I don't like no, so I asked them why. And they decided they would go ahead and create a category for a single individual doing this. They have people that are disabilities with multiple wheelchairs pulling something, but no one's ever done it with a single individual. So not only is this a world record, but this is setting a world record today. So it's Guinness gave me a certain amount to do, and that's what I'm actually pulling more than they've asked for. So they've actually officially got to pull 4,000 pounds or more. I'm pulling a little over 46 today. You want to go ahead and pull the vehicle up front? You want to get it pulled up?
You want to get to this part, or
Yeah.
you just start it from there?
No, it starts there.
We're gonna do something stupid again. That's what Michael and I do. He calls me up and says, "We're gonna do a horrible idea." I'm like, "Let's do it." Whether he wants me to climb up a mountain by crawling next to him, or we're gonna go for yet another record for a Spartan race or another obstacle course race. So this is yet another one that's just showing what is possible. We have a charity together called More Heart Than Scars, and our team, the Dirtbags, and what we do is we want to disable the word disability. Michael's an adaptive athlete. I'm an adaptive athlete. Together we're overcoming challenges and recognizing their abilities. When people talk about Michael, I don't even think about Michael as being in a chair. A lot of times I even forget. So I don't say that's Michael, the guy in the wheelchair. I say Michael has more heart than scars.
Look underneath him. Make sure he's not going to hit the disc with the back.
No, he's good.
Okay.
Go! Pull the rope behind me. Pull the rope behind me. I'll get it. Go ahead. Go, Michael. No, you can't.
Got it, Michael!
All those babies, Michael, keep them in your thoughts.
Move it! Everyone back out! Move it! Move it! One more! One! Come on! One! Come on! You got it! One! Oh! Do not stop! Do not stop! One! Do not stop! Two! Move! Do not stop! We're holding it. We're not giving up. We're going. Let's go! Move! Come on! Move it again! Move it! You got it, Michael. All right, let's go. One. There you go. Let's go. One. Let's go. There you go. Let's go. There you go. Keep going. Keep pulling. Keep going. Come on, Michael.
at the mills.
Tell us what you're thinking right now.
Disney World. Oh, that's not one of our sponsors.
I'm tired. It hadn't sunk. I'm hurting. Thank everybody. I mean, y'all made me go faster and harder.
We love you.
Just
The hardest part was watching you.
We're sorry it was so hard, Mike.
It was so hard to
I got
watch
stuck.
you and not help.
I got stuck, and everything every time I pulled, my hands just wanted to let go, and I can't even feel my hands right now.
God, we wanted to help you so bad. We're just.
Did it.
I know, it's in us to help you all the time.
But it's done.
It was so
That's it.
Yeah! Get it, buddy.
Good job. I'm so proud of you.
Love you, Mike.
Who's hugging me? You are.
A little bit of all of us.
Yeah. Can I get something to drink? Some water?
Yeah, can we get some water, please?
Water!
Some Gatorade!
Water!
Get some oxygen.
I got a bottle of Jack.
Anybody got a water?
Jesus' feet were growing weary as he journeyed on his way. So he rested at the well side, a comfort in the heat of day. There he waited for a woman black with sin and bound for hell. When she arrived, he plainly told her, what you need's not in the well. He's still waiting by the well, and he's holding out his hand. If you'll drink this living water, you won't have to thirst again. He's still waiting by the well side, knowing you'd be passing by. Take advantage of this moment. He's not gone, he's still waiting by the well. Are you tired of being thirsty, even though you've had your fill of the water that the world gives? Does it leave longing still? Well, there's good news down by that well side. Woman's voice rings loud and clear. She said this man's changed her forever. If you need hope, you can find it here. He's still waiting by the well, and he's holding out his hand. If you'll drink this living water, you won't have to thirst again. He's still waiting by the well side, knowing you'd be passing by. Take advantage of this moment. He's not gone, he's still waiting by the well. He's still waiting by the well, and he's holding out his hand. If you'll drink this living water, you won't have to thirst again. He's still waiting by the well side, knowing you'd be passing by. Take advantage of this moment. He's not gone, he's still waiting by the well. He's still waiting by the well side, knowing you'd be passing by. Take advantage of this moment. He's not gone, he's still waiting by the well. He's not gone, he's still waiting by the well.
Creative artists can offer you a wide range of video production. Call the experts and discuss your project today, whether it's your special event or your company. Creative Artist, 770-267-7368. Creative Artists produces this program you're watching. Call Creative Artists today, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist. They'll put you in the spotlight. Goats, goats, and more goats. It's all about the goats at Double Durango Farm in Loganville, Georgia.
This is Double Durango Farm in Loganville, Georgia. We started about 15 years ago with our goats, and we've been here 20 years. It just started really as a hobby, just for fun.
Double Durango Farm offers a variety of goat fun, including farm tours, photo shoots, custom stands, and goat yoga. That's right, goat yoga. If you're looking for a relaxing, unique meditation, what better way than with a herd of goats?
Goat yoga offers an opportunity for anybody to come and try it, and they don't have to worry about if they're doing the postures correctly or if they're really just enjoying doing something active with the goats and just sharing that moment, I think.
I found the goat yoga through Facebook, and I had some friends that were coming out, and I wanted to try something different. So we found that it was here in Loganville and signed up.
So if you're looking for something to do with the family this weekend, look up Double Durango Farms in Loganville, Georgia.